Holes.
'Cause I'm a pothole.
This is a good one. I have one on University Avenue in St. Paul. Sign says, for rent, single bedroom, pool close to bus line. That's very cute.
'Cause I'm a pothole.
All right, 81807, you can text those, powered by Wellington Window and Door. And some other texts we got about this global warming thing. We had heard from J. Drake Hamilton from Fresh Energy, and in a minute, Dan McGrath is going to join us from Minnesota Majority. Let me run you a few of these texts. It's not all just because of humans, writes this texter. Maybe we should all just hold our breath so we expel less carbon dioxide. Next text says, I'm all for better energy efficiency, but all this global warming crap bothers me. And the next one says, be wise, weatherize. Do your part and be energy smart. Make your home more energy efficient, air sealing in your home. And that's from Bob, a home energy auditor. Thank you, Bob. Well, let's see what Dan McGrath thinks about this. He is with Minnesota Majority. They created the website globalclimatescam.com. And Dan, what I'll ask you first is what someone here just asked me. Why would you call global warming a scam?
Well, thanks for having me on.
You bet.
First of all, Michelle. Global warming is unraveling as we watch. If you've been paying attention to, like, the ClimateGate scandal, the tree ring data has been proven to be unreliable at best, which is what they've constructed the entire climate history on in order to produce our famous hockey stick chart that shows temperatures rapidly increasing. Even Phil Jones from the Climatic Research Unit has now admitted that they don't have the data to prove their graphs, and there hasn't been any warming for the last 15 years, and it was warmer in the past, in the medieval warm period.
So when we had on J. Drake Hamilton from Fresh Energy, and when she says it is a scientific fact that these greenhouse gases are being trapped and creating hotter air above the atmosphere, I may not be articulating it as well as she did. I'm sure I'm not. But she calls it a scientific fact. There's no disputing this. Your response is?
They usually use the word consensus. Stating that it's a scientific fact that's proven is really kind of ridiculous, because the nature of science is that you're constantly trying to disprove your theory and always questioning it and always pushing forward for more knowledge. So to think that our climate science, which is really in its infancy right now, is already settled is kind of ludicrous.
All right. When you developed globalclimatescam.com, what was your mission with that website? What did you want to accomplish?
Well, we were trying to counteract what most people are being spoon-fed every day by the warmists. The mainstream media for a long time was just kind of locked onto this scientific consensus. The debate is over, and there's no other side of the story anymore. Now, that's starting to change as ClimateGate has come out and started to unravel this mythical consensus. We're starting to see some reporting on the other side of the issue now, but its purpose was just to get out stories that people might not otherwise be exposed to.
All right, and people can find that at globalclimatescam.com. What I guess incentivizes you to counter? I mean, there's nothing wrong, and I'm playing devil's advocate here. There's nothing wrong with trying to create cleaner energy, to create more efficient energy in your home, to try and clean up the air, all these things. So what is wrong, I guess, with the whole notion of of climate gate? Not a climate gate, of climate change.
Climate change. Well, I agree with you. There's nothing wrong with those things. Those are all worthwhile initiatives that the private sector should take on and try to make profitable. But it's being used, this global warming scam, as a catalyst to affect both political change and economic change in this country and in the world that can be detrimental to ordinary folks like you and me. Cap and trade is a prime example. They want to tax the air that we breathe. Well, actually, a carbon credit is renting air to a company to use to pass carbon dioxide through. It's like a new real estate bonanza that they're trying to create and sell air to people.
Yeah, and I agree that's fraught with some difficulties. There's plenty of room for scams even in that industry. I see the potential for that as well. But now we have a texter here that wants you to state your sources. What are your sources that tell you that climate change is not real?
Well, they're numerous. That's the entire purpose of globalclimatescam.com, is to get our sources out there. We post articles there from various news agencies. It's kind of a news aggregator site. So as the editor of that site, I read it all every day. You can go to globalclimatescam.com and get into the details right there.
Of the sources. Okay. How bad was this scientist at the center of ClimateGate has done this U-turn? No global warming since 1995. How does he know this? I mean, what did you glean from this whole admission?
Well, they're finally admitting what we've already known, because more reputable scientists have done studies and just compiled the raw temperature data, and you can look at it and see global average temperatures have not been going up for the past decade or more. And some people are saying that it's trending towards cooling, but the temperature is always going to fluctuate like that, and it always has.
I guess the last question for you would be this: most of the science, if you will, is based on statistics of temperatures of these tree rings, all of these things. Can't anyone bend statistics to prove their point in this argument?
Probably, and that's what we've seen with the tree ring data, with the famous line, "Hide the decline." What that really means is they're hiding the fact that the tree ring data doesn't actually match up to observed temperatures. So that entire graph that they've produced, I mean, on one hand, they could say this is, pretty compelling evidence, but on the other hand, it looks like it's pretty shaky.
All right. Dan McGrath is the executive director of Minnesota Majority. The website, globalclimatescam.com, so you can look at both sides of the issue. We thank you for your time today, Dan. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. 6'5".